really hit me and shook the foundations of my life like never before. When I looked at my life honestly, I could see that I was living as if I was the Lord of the harvest. I was the one trying to control everything. I was trying to control and manage outcomes, trying to control situations, trying to control tomorrow before I've even finished with today, trying to carry responsibilities that were God's alone. They were God's responsibilities, not mine. God has never asked me to carry the harvest, never asked me to carry the harvest. Rather, he's asked me to be faithful in the fields, to be one of the workers in the field. It's his harvest and he is the Lord of the harvest. He's calling me to be a faithful worker in the field. And that truth has changed my life. Just those four words in those verses has really changed my life. My responsibility is not to control everything. My responsibility is to be faithful with the next thing that God has for me to do, the next thing that he wants me to do with my life, the next conversation that I have with a person, anyone, the next act of obedience, the next opportunity to love somebody, the next opportunity, next step in following Jesus. And from there, I'm to trust everything else into his hands. Do what he's calling me to do and trust everything else over to the Lord of the harvest. I'm not expected to carry the whole thing all by myself. And as I continue on with God in this, I'm learning to focus on what he puts in front of me. Yeah, one call at a time, staying in my lane, not trying to get into his lane. Now, you might think to yourself, listening to me this morning, yeah, well, that's obvious. Yeah, that's how I've been living my life forever. And I'll be honest with you, it does seem obvious even when I think about it now. But the truth is, for me, I knew it in here, but I wasn't living it in here. I knew it in my head, but I wasn't living it in my heart. Knowing God is the Lord of the harvest is one thing, but living your life as he is the Lord of the harvest is something entirely different. And that's where the challenge really hit me hard. That's where the challenge really hit me hard. Now, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, now that all sounds good. All of what you shared so far, it's encouraging. Love to hear your story, that sort of thing. But how do you live as though God is the Lord of the harvest? How do you surrender and just do what God is calling you to do? Focus on the things that he's calling you to do in the field. How do you put all of that into practice? How do you focus on God and allow him to be the Lord of the harvest? Here's what I've discovered, and that's what I want to share in the latter part of my message. Revelation through God's word, as amazing as it is, revelation alone won't transform you. You see, God isn't just trying to teach me a new truth, and academically, I can understand it in my mind. He's trying to teach me and lead me into trust and surrender. He's trying to